Of all the different pillars of Great Bear Island's economy, mining was number one. The biggest underground resource was obviously coal, seeing as most of the mines on the island were known for it, and every cave, big or small, will spawn it. There are other resources mentioned within the lore, such as copper and uranium, but gold is the one that I am interested in today. For one, gold has a decent amount of related lore around it, even more than coal does. Gold is a fascination that has piqued humanity's interest for many millennia for its rarity and beauty. That is why gold is the main topic for this video. This is the Great Bear Gold Rush. There are 4 big instances in the lore that we will discuss in this video, so let's go by region and in alphabetical order. This is something I covered in a recent video, so I will link it in the description if you want the full story. Ash Canyon is known for having one of the only actual gold mines we know of on Great Bear Island. At the Foreman's Retreat, you can find a note about the gold mine's operation. It's gold, alright. Can't believe how much. Jesse wants to go even deeper, but we're all waiting on the foreman to give us the thumbs up. The vein we opened up looks like it could go on and on. Just have to be careful how we... The mining log page tells us that miners found a gold vein with the potential for it to be much bigger than it appeared. There's no telling how much gold there was or whether any of it actually made it out of the mine. The state of the mine suggests that things didn't go as planned, as it would become abandoned. This is most likely because of other circumstances within the canyon, which you can learn all about in the Memories of Ash Canyon video mentioned before. Believe it or not, Blackrock has an extensive history involving gold. Part of the historical document about the penitentiary built there mentions that gold has been long rumored to be found within the Blackrock Valley. Before the first stone was laid for the penitentiary, gold miners and prospectors made their way to the region to try their hand at finding fortune in the shadow of Blackrock Mountain. Many died, and few found the gold they were looking for. Still, it's said the many streams and rivers that surround the prison grounds still carry gold, even in winter. According to Warden Franklin's dialogue from episode 4, the prison was built over 100 years ago, meaning these gold miners and prospectors would have been combing the Blackrock Valley quite some time ago. This means Great Bear Island actually had its own gold rush like the famous Californian gold rush in the mid-1800s. It seemed that unlike the real-life counterpart, there was hardly any gold around. Still though, this wouldn't stop people from searching. Speaking of rumors, the Blackrock Rumors side quest features some notes relevant to this topic. I won't read everything, as you can get the full story in the Memories of Blackrock video, which will be linked in the description. First, the Blackrock memo late employee note in the infirmary tells us a penitentiary worker had been consistently late. Before a disciplinary response was considered, the prison admin team decided to attempt to provide psychiatric support. The employee in question, Murphy, was believed to be suffering from the effects of long-term isolation. In reality, he was searching for gold along the valley's rivers. Something decent this time. Price is climbing. Check possible bleed off down by that low creek. Warm days melt the shallow ice? Red gold or something better. Gotta try. If you search the lockbox below his bed in the barracks building, you can find a gold nugget. Not only does this show that Murphy wasn't going crazy, but it proves that gold did exist within Blackrock. There are no known gold mines mentioned in the area, but there are a few mines within the shadow of the Blackrock Mountain. For one, there was the last prospect mine, but gold is never mentioned as one of its outputs. The base of the mountain has a confirmed quarry, the stone from which was used to help build Blackrock. The historical documents from building Blackrock mentions the gold is specifically found in the rivers and streams, meaning this gold could be coming from further upstream. Unfortunately, upstream is hard to determine when trying to connect all the waterways across the island's many regions. This map by Kruger does a really good job of showing the waterways of Great Bear Island, but doesn't show flow direction and only shows what we can see in-game. These maps, which were made by and maintained by a whole mess of people, do show waterfall directions, which tells us flow direction, but then it makes it difficult to piece together what rivers flow where. Together, I have determined that this river in Blackrock and this river from Keeper's Pass are the only waterways that flow into the valley. I did all this research and even had outside help from KirkSteven to show where this waterfall from Mountain Town goes, but it doesn't connect to Blackrock. The Mountain Town River does seem to flow towards Keeper's Pass and then into Pleasant Valley, but there is no connection to Blackrock like I thought. These two rivers right here were what were confusing me. I thought the Mountain Town River, which flows into an off-map area that is explored by Astrid after escaping the collapsed tunnel, flowed into Keeper's Pass. From there, it flows into Pleasant Valley, back into Keeper's Pass again, and then to Blackrock. I thought all of these regions were connected via waterways, but the arrows on screen show the flow directions based on their waterfalls. That means there is an unknown water source somewhere between Blackrock and Pleasant Valley that flows into Blackrock via Keeper's Pass, and then there is this other river that cuts through the Blackrock Valley. Both of these rivers would flow into the main river, into the hydro plant, and then further west. Yes, that is technically west because you have to remember that the island map is rotated incorrectly. I think it's safe to assume that we may never know where the Blackrock gold is actually coming from. It could be from far upstream or from the rock that is being slowly chipped away by the region's raging rivers. This is the only other region we know that has gold, except there is no mention of it at all in the lore. The only thing we have to go off of is the random gold nugget that was added with the Zone of Contamination in the Buried Echoes update. Completely unrelated to the Buried Echoes tale, in the Langston Mine's first subfloor you can find a corpse with a lockbox key. On the same floor, you can find the lockbox that contains the gold nugget. It is the same model used for the gold nugget from the Blackrock Rumors side quest in Wintermute episode 4. Without any notes or dialogue anywhere to explain why it is here, the Langston Mine gold nugget is just an odd curio discovered in the mine's dark depths. Maybe the mine was on the verge of discovering where it came from, a gold vein similar to the one in Ash Canyon, but could never find it. At the time of its closure, the mine was dedicated to uranium mining, leaving it scarred from environmental destruction. It's possible that the chemicals used to extract the uranium ore uncovered this gold chunk of metal. Lastly, there is the final major instance of gold within the lore of the Long Dark, and it is not related to a specific region. Depending on the RNG gods and the Darkwalker's willpower, when looking for the conspiracy theorist prepper cache in survival mode, you can find a gold nugget in either version of the cache. There are two versions that appear depending on the difficulty, but both have a chance to spawn it. In one version, it is in one of the cache vents, and in the other, it can be found inside the safe. With 9 prepper cache spawns for the rotating caches and complete number nonsense, this gold nugget is more elusive than any other item in the game. Sure, it may look like the Blackrock and Zone of Contamination gold nuggets, but this one, the Conspiracy Theorist gold nugget, is the rarest item in the game, and it is not guaranteed to spawn in every save file. If you fancy yourself a collector, good frickin' luck. I've been actively searching for it since its release in the Frontier Comforts update and have gotten it a total of 1 time. As far as I know, those are all the major mentions of gold within the lore of the Long Dark. To be honest, it is quite a lot. It makes sense to see all sorts of different earthly resources in a place like Great Bear Island. The raw forces of nature converge under the island, leading to many geological wonders. Gold, among the other resources here, only exists because nature has pushed and produced them from the heat deep below, from the rock below our feet, and with the help of time. Although it is just an odd curio now in the quiet apocalypse, gold is a reminder of what was lost with the coming of the auroras. Gold made the world turn around at one point, but now the world sits still under the quiet, long dark. With the conclusion of this video comes this sad reality. This is the last true lore topic I can cover before the release of episode 5. Any major uncovered topics that remain cannot be discussed until the light at the end of all things releases. This feels like a bittersweet moment for me and the channel, but I know there's still more to come for the Long Dark as its story comes to a close, hopefully later this year. Come next year, Blackfrost will eventually take over and pick up where the Long Dark leaves off. Between now and the release of episode 5, there will still be a few other types of the Long Dark videos. Some of them will dabble in topics that I've already covered or non-lore topics, and others are bigger lore videos that I can't just spend a week on. When I mean big, I mean probably the biggest The Long Dark video I've made. even bigger than the massive 40-minute recap of Wintermute I made last year. Speaking of which, now is the time for you to catch up on any lore topics you might have missed. You have a few months to do it, so now is the time to start. You can use the playlist on the end screen to find all of my lore videos for the Long Dark in one place. Also, I recently started a new lore project for a different survival game called Raft. The first 2 videos are out now, with a third one on the way soon. If you want to support the channel during this The Long Dark lore lull, please check out those videos and show them some love. I'll put the first video of the series on the end screen as well. Thank you for watching so far, and hopefully the wait for episode 5 isn't too much longer. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like for the algorithm so I can keep making them.